Okay, I understand the inclination of doing this over here, saying that x equals 5 plus y, and then plug it back in here and see if you can deal with it. My claim is this, though. If you do that, it's going to be really difficult. Now, by the way, I'm not saying impossible. I just think really difficult. By the way, I can't say what I'm doing is making it easier for you, and I'm not going to say it's the easiest way of doing anything. I would never suggest what I do is the easiest thing to do. It may be, in fact, be the worst thing to do. Maybe you see something much more obvious than I see. What I'm going to do is give it a try, though. All right? So if someone says, what do you mean you're going to give this a try? I'm going to give this a try. All right? So I'm going to make a substitution as follows. I'm going to let x equal this. I'm going to let y equals this. And I think if I do that and I plug it into the second equation, I'm going to see something pretty easy. The second equation, what do I get? I would get u plus v minus u minus v equals 5. And what do you get over here? Well, the u's disappear because u minus u is nothing. V minus minus v is 2v. So I'm going to say 2v is equal to 5. V is 5 over 2. All right? What I'm going to do now is I just want to go over a milestone that we just accomplished. We accomplished this milestone over here, and I want to highlight it for you. That's a milestone. We got there. All right? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to erase it. It may work, by the way, but I know how to get there. I can go back there as often as I like. Again, maybe I didn't know about the substitutions, but now you do. All right? So what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to plug it into the first equation, which is much more difficult, by the way. And by the way, you could plug in v being 5/2 now. I know what v is, but I got to be honest with you, for me to do the arithmetic with 5/2, it's just too much work for me. So what I'm going to do is I'll write this down instead. I'm going to write down u plus v squared plus u, I'm sorry, not squared, it's fourth power, sorry about that. U minus v to the fourth power is equal to 257. Right, I'm going to go through the work, and it's a binomial expansion of fourth degree. Okay, I think it's going to be easy to do. And you're going to get u4, on the left side, plus 4u cubed v plus 6u squared v squared. I'm just doing the first term, by the way, which is u plus v to the fourth power, plus 4u v cubed plus v4. Now I'm going to do the second term, which is u minus v to the fourth power. You get u4 minus 4u cubed v plus 6u squared v squared minus 4u v cubed. Isn't this convenient? Plus v4, and this whole thing here is going to equal 257. Well, I'm actually going to add it together now. What do you get? 2u4. This disappears. Plus 12u squared v squared. This disappears. Plus 2v4 equals 257. I want to see if I met that milestone. And that milestone is right here. All right, I got that milestone now. So I got the 2u4 plus 12u squared v squared plus 2v to the fourth power, 257. I'm going to erase my chicken scratch. I don't need it anymore. I met that milestone. And what I want to do is I want to get an equation on one unknown. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take v, which is equal to 5 over 2, and plug it in here. And what do you get? 2u4 plus, I got to do this now. It's 12u squared times v squared, which is 25 quarters. What is that going to give you? 75, right? Because 4 goes into 12, 3, and 3 times 25 is 75, u squared. Now I got to just do this 2, and I'm going to get rid of my chicken scratch. And I'm going to do the 2v4 now. So 2 times v to the fourth power which is 5 to the 4th power over 2 to the 4th power, which is 625 over 8. I don't like that number, by the way. And that equals 257. Now, I realize what some people look at and say, well, I didn't get to your milestone, and the next milestone is this thing over here. I didn't get there, but I want to keep going. So someone says, how are you going to keep going? Well, I'm going to erase my old work. I don't need it anymore. It's a distraction to me. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. And what would you get? You would get 16 U4 multiplying by 8 plus 600 U squared plus 625. Now I got to do 8 times 257, which is 1600, because 8 times 200 is 1600. 8 times 50 is going to be 428. So that's going to be that's going to be 2,000. Did I do that right? Oh, 56. What did I do over there? I'm sorry, 8. 8 times 1,600, 400, 56. Sorry about that. So that's going to be 2,056. Let me do that again. I hate to make mistakes. 8 times 200, because we're multiplying both sides by 8. 1,600, 400, and 56. Good. I got 2,056. All right. I'm still working towards that milepost. I'm not there yet. All right. Let me erase the prior milepost, though. I'm trying to get to the new milepost. I really am trying to get there. And let's see if we can do it. So I got to do 2,056 and take 625. What do you get there? Well, 5 from 6 is 1. 2 from 5, that's going to be 3. 6 from 10, 4, 14, 31. So what do you get? 16 U4 plus 600 U squared minus 1431 equals 0. All right? Let me erase. It's all this old stuff here. Don't need any more. And the question is, did I get to that new milepost? And by the way, this is a very difficult problem set. There's no doubt about it. It takes a lot of work to get through the problem. I'm going to encourage you to give it your best shot, though. Did I get there? Well, I got the 16U4. I got the 600U squared minus 1431. Now, I want to be honest with you. I sometimes struggle with factoring. I mean, factoring to me is not easy. But, I don't think I'd use the AC rule just because the numbers they're huge. I don't mind you going to the quadratic formula, though. But what I want to claim, though, is 1431 is divisible by 3. And I need to factor the number. So what do you get? Well, you get, let's see, you'd get 4. That would give you 12. This gives you 23. You get 7. 7 times 3 is 21. Then you get another 21, 477. And believe it or not, 477, I shouldn't say believe it or not, is also divided by 3. That's 1. You get 17. That's going to be 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Then you get 27, and that would be 9. So I'm going to say, looking at it, yeah, and again, it's a stab in the dark maybe, but 4u squared, and I would try 159 and 9. I'll put that down for you. And just to cut to the chase, let me erase this stuff over here. We don't need any more. This will work, all right? Now, certainly, we would like you to verify it works, but it's not bad. I mean, you can do it. And what I mean by that, you can multiply that out, and you're certainly going to get 16U4. You're certainly going to get minus 1431 in the end. And if you did the internal term, you're going to get 600U squared. Maybe I should do that. So you get minus 36, and then you're going to get plus 400 plus 200 plus 36. These cancel off. You do get 600. So it works out pretty nicely. Now, by the way, I want to concentrate on easy first. And someone says, I don't want to do I want to do the tough one. And certainly go to town. Let's go for this. The easy U for this is plus or minus 2/3. All right, because if you square that number, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I spoke too quickly, but I'm glad I'm checking. Plus or minus 3/2. Because if you square that number, you're going to get 9/4 times 4, which is 9, and 9 minus 9 is 0. So I got some really easy answers here. And one of the answers I get is this. X equals, let's put down U plus V. All right? And what does Y equal? U minus V. All right? So let's try that. Do you know what V is? You do. It's 5/2. So let's write this down. And let's take a look. So I'm going to say X is equal to, well, I'm going to do 3/2 first. 3/2 plus 5/2 is 8/2, and 8/2 is 4. Let's do the Y. What's the Y? It is U, which I chose 3/2 first, right? Remember that? And then it's going to be what? Minus V, which is minus 5/2, which is going to be what? Minus 2/2, which is minus 1. So I got 1 point. And again, we can check these later. So 4, comma, minus 1. I'm going to do another one, and I'm done with those. I got X to be 4 and Y to be minus 1. I'm going to erase now. What am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to use minus 3/2. So X equals minus 3/2 plus V. What's V? 5/2. And Y is going to be minus 3/2 minus 5/2. What do you get there? Well, let's see. Minus 3 plus 5 is 2, so that would be 1. Minus 3 minus 5 is minus 8. Divided by 2 is minus 4. So we get another solution over here, 1, comma, minus 4. Now, I want to be honest with you. They're really simple answers. You could check that like immediately in the second equation. And, 4 minus minus 1 is going to be 5, and 1 minus minus 4 is 5. And you could also check it up here, all right? What I mean by that, they're fourth power, so what do? You raise each term to fourth power. 4 to the fourth power, 4 times 4 is 16, 64, 256, and then plus 1. Yeah, it works out beautifully. This works beautifully. It really works beautifully. Now, let me get my eraser out, and I think I've exhausted that, all right? Now, Wells doesn't go here, and I understand why he doesn't go here, but let me just go to the key, and I want to point out in a key, you're seeing that you got this answer over here. 4 minus 1 and 1 minus 4. I also want to look at the picture. It's being used to illustrate the points. I want to point out we have a line, and then we have this graph over here, which is sort of reminds me of an equation of a circle, but it's not. It's like a boxy-looking circle. So we got this over here, and we got the 2 points of intersection, all right? And this is what Wells is looking for, the real points of intersection. But I do want to claim that there's another solution to the problem. It's complex, and it's over here. Now, I don't want to go through all the detail on it, but if you looked at this thing, you would have U squared is equal to minus 159 over 4. I will talk about the solution, though, but I don't think I want to do all the gory details. U equals plus or minus I root 159 over 2. And, it's two different U's. And let's just talk about what the V is again. That was 5/2, right? So what do you got? Well, the X, I want to remind you, I'm going to remind myself, is U plus V. What's that going to be? That's fairly simple. It's going to be 2. And then you're going to get 5 plus or minus I root 159. All right? What's the Y equal to? Well, it's U minus V, right? What's that going to be? 5 minus plus I root 159 over 2. I think you get the idea, right? So could you write the answers down? You sure could. And what I'm saying over here, Let's just put one ordered pair down. And I want to do the first one, which is 5 plus, this is the x, by the way, I root 59 over 2. The other one's going to be, let's see, let me see if I did this right. U minus V. I gotta be careful here. Oh yeah, this is correct. Let me make sure that though. I don't want to speak as if, and the other one would be this. And let me make sure that, and this one over here. Again, Wells is not going in that direction, by the way. The direction he's going into is the real solutions over here, which I want to point out to you. This one over here is 4, comma, minus 1. And this point over here is 1, comma, minus 4. And I called this thing a boxy circle. Again, it really does look like a circle. You know, the circle would be x squared plus y squared equals 257. This is a boxy looking circle, very boxy. All right, so is this a tough question? It really is tough. Does it illustrate what we have to do? Yeah, making things simple. That's what it illustrates. But again, you may find a better way of doing it. I want to point out my name, by the way, and also a place to contact me. My email is Bannon, B as in boy, the @ symbol, NNON.US. And I'd love to hear from people that have ideas on how to make the document better. Thank you very much.